Brock Lesnar and others have been named, with new evidence being revealed in the amended Janel Grant, Vince McMahon and WWE lawsuit. CM Punk and Kevin Owens come face-to-face for the first time ever inside of a WWE ring last night on SmackDown. Jacob Fatu and Damian Priest and others announced their entry into the Royal Rumble matches this evening. Chelsea Green retains the Women's United States Championship via disqualification. Stephanie McMahon is shown ringside last night during SmackDown. WWE Evolve tapings are reportedly set for later on this month. An assessment on the record-breaking demand for the WWE Royal Rumble, an update on plans for the 2025 WWE Hall of Fame ceremony during WrestleMania weekend. Will new WWE superstar and former TNA Knockouts World Champion Jordynne Grace be at the Royal Rumble this evening? And Sting announces the first dates for the 2025 Or Never Tour. Hey guys, welcome back to Wrestling News 365. Hope everyone is doing very well. As always, plenty of news stories to get into in the world of professional wrestling. Let's begin with the latest on the Janel Grant lawsuit with Vince McMahon and Brock Lesnar. This is certainly very, very interesting because now Brock Lesnar has been included in this. He was referenced in the prior lawsuit, but now is the first time he has been explicitly named. Janel Grant's attorneys have filed a motion amending the complaint in her sex trafficking case against Vince McMahon, John Laurinaitis, and WWE. The motion includes new evidence to support Grant's allegations, first levied in January of 2024 and swiftly followed by McMahon's resignation from WWE and TKO. In addition to previously unreleased text messages, emails, and voice transcripts, the amended complaint explicitly names current and former WWE employees whose identities had previously been concealed, including former WWE Champion Brock Lesnar, current WWE President Nick Khan, former COO Brad Blum, former co-CEO Stephanie McMahon, and former legal executive Brian Nurse, as well as longtime WWE producer Michael Hayes. Now 104 pages, the amended complaint alleges that McMahon treated Grant as a commodity, sharing sexually explicit images of her with other men, including Laurinaitis and Lesnar, whose role in the alleged trafficking was reported last January, but who was not previously named in the complaint. Quote, McMahon actively requested, directed, encouraged, insisted, and ultimately conditioned Miss Grant to create and send sexually explicit content during, but not limited to, writers' meetings, production meetings, while running live television broadcasts in gorilla position, and while on the corporate jet traveling both domestically and internationally, the complaint reads. It further notes that others at WWE knew what was happening, quote, but instead of intervening to protect Miss Grant, WWE viewed and dealt with her as a corporate liability and actively sought to conceal the wrongdoing, end quote. It's alleged that even after Grant had been pushed out of the company and muzzled with an NDA, McMahon continued his efforts to exploit her, including attempting to traffic her to Lesnar in New York in March 2022. The amended complaint also makes note of an office used by Laurinaitis to sexually abuse Grant, which shared a wall with Paul Triple H Levesque and had Khan and Blum overseeing its development. The complaint also confirms the names of Dr. Carlon N. Coker and his clinic, Peak Wellness, veteran WWE employee Rich Herring, and Hayes, who holds a top position on WWE's current production team and has historically been associated with Bloodline segments. The complaint alleges that McMahon was openly and recklessly sharing explicit content featuring Grant with others, going so far as to instruct Grant to create customized explicit content for Hayes and his crew, as well as instructing her to show off for construction workers. In October 2020, McMahon allegedly detailed how he had shown Grant's sexually explicit content to at least 20 members in the WWE crew. In addition to providing names and new evidence, Grant's amended complaint argues why the case should not be moved to arbitration as stipulated in the NDA she signed. The complaint documents repeated attempts by Grant to back out of the NDA, aggressive efforts by McMahon to get her to sign it, including a transcript of a message left for Grant by McMahon pressuring her to do so, saying, quote, I gotta get this effing thing done or I'm double effed, and alleged violations of the NDA by McMahon after it was signed. McMahon's legal team has been attempting to have Grant's case moved to arbitration per the terms of the NDA since a federal stay on the case expired back in December. Quote, the arbitration provision, individually and outside the general NDA agreement, was entered into under duress and or as a result of fraudulent inducement engaged by McMahon, and in the same is void as a matter of law, the complaint reads. Also of note is the complaint's new allegation that the recent Netflix documentary Mr. McMahon contains footage that depicts McMahon receiving and looking at sexually explicit images of Grant during a production meeting. Of course, if we get any more details on this amended lawsuit, we'll let you know in a future video. Now, going to SmackDown last night, Kevin Owens and CM Punk shared the ring to kick off a commercial-free first hour of SmackDown, something that has rarely, if ever, happened before. The show started with Joe Tessitore in the ring to invite Owens for an interview on the basis that he felt he was getting unfair coverage compared to his Royal Rumble opponent, to which Tessitore apologized for the sentiment but affirmed that was not the case. Tessitore invited Owens to get what he needed off his chest, and Owens spoke of his anger watching Rhodes and Punk discuss a potential WrestleMania main event as if he couldn't be a factor. He said he was tired of being overlooked when he could be the WWE champion after this weekend, before taking the Winged Eagle Championship bout and going to storm off from the interview when he was interrupted by CM Punk himself. Punk apologized for interrupting Owens, but since his name was spoken, he deemed it fit to come out and address it. He recognized Owens' feeling of being overlooked and said if he does somehow get past an angry Rhodes and when he wins the Rumble, it will be Punk versus Owens at WrestleMania. Owens retorted that he liked the idea of beating Punk up in the Mania main event, but it would bring him more of a warm fuzzy feeling for Punk to never achieve his career goal, and thus he hopes he doesn't win the Royal Rumble. Owens looked to leave before Punk stopped him for his own retorts, saying that he had never lost 5 title matches at the Royal Rumble events, nor had he lost to Logan Paul. He then challenged Owens to fight him in the ring, but Owens chose to walk away to close the segment. Now, as far as many people can determine, CM Punk and Kevin Owens have never ever had a match against each other, even a televised in-ring segment together, though they did interact backstage shortly after Punk returned to WWE in November 2023. Prior to that return, Punk and Owens hadn't wrestled for the same company since Punk left for Ring of Honor in 2005, as he quit WWE months before Owens joined the company in 2014. The two men are famously not on friendly terms, though there doesn't seem to be any open animosity between them as of right now. And we got more entrants into this evening's Royal Rumble matches. Of course, we'll be doing a watch-along live here on the channel, so be sure to join us 15 minutes before the show goes on the air on Netflix. And the fields for the men's and women's Royal Rumble matches continued to fill out on SmackDown on Friday, the day before the big event, with multiple names added to both matches. New SmackDown member Damian Priest declared for the match in an in-ring promo when he was interrupted by Jacob Fatu, who will also be in the match. Legado del Fantasma Santos Escobar also announced he would be competing, telling the Motor City Machine Guns backstage that he would have to win the whole thing to get a title shot. Women's United States Champion Chelsea Green declared for the Rumble in a backstage segment before her own title match with Michin. It was revealed in a graphic shown on the broadcast that Green's secret, Hervis, Piper Niven, will also be in the match. 2 other women declared for the match around WWE Women's Champion Tiffany Stratton's promo, with Zelina Vega confronting her backstage and Candice LeRae interrupting the champion in the ring. Now, speaking of Chelsea Green, she is still the Women's United States Champion. While the Royal Rumble is just around the corner, Michin looked to secure her first title in WWE on Friday's edition of SmackDown when she challenged heated rival Chelsea Green once again for her Women's United States Championship. Michin may have had a number of games figured out with her new ally in BFAB, but a kendo stick proved to be the match's great equalizer as Green disqualified herself into a title retention. The match's beginnings were nothing short of aggressive, with Green sending Michin into the mat and Michin attempting 2 roll-up pins before they even performed the traditional wrestling lockup. The contest was a push and pull effort from both women thereafter, with each woman quickly answering to their opponent's offense with a move of her own. Tensions were at a match high when Michin landed an eat defeat onto Green, but Piper Niven's quick interference allowed for Green to escape a pin attempt. Niven answered for her actions shortly thereafter when she was leveled by BFAB, but the ringside chaos allowed for Green to sneak away to grab the kendo stick from Michin's entrance. Green struck her at her opponent ruthlessly, officially losing the match via disqualification whilst retaining her Women's United States Championship. Despite the loss and kendo stick battering, Michin was not grounded for long as she snatched her signature weapon back from Green. Before Michin could return the favour, however, Green and Niven fled up the ramp and into the back. This is Michin's 3rd loss to Green on record, with the most recent one occurring on the January 10th episode of SmackDown. Green is set to continue her inaugural reign with the Women's United States Championship, which currently clocks in at just around 50 days. Now, speaking of SmackDown, last night we saw Stephanie McMahon at ringside. On the night before the 2025 WWE Royal Rumble, Stephanie McMahon appeared in the audience during the January 31st episode of SmackDown. Of course, in 2002, when the brand split first occurred, Stephanie was the first SmackDown general manager. She has appeared in several events this week, including a WWE town hall where her husband, Paul Triple H Levesque, was announced as a member of the 2025 Hall of Fame class. Now, Stephanie McMahon, of course, officially resigned from WWE in January of 2023. However, this week it was revealed that a new project titled Stephanie's Places will be actually debuting on ESPN Plus this March. Now, an interesting update here when it comes to a brand new show. WWE Evolve tapings will reportedly be taking place on February 7th, 2025 at the WWE Performance Center. The news was first reported by Corey Hayes of Body Slam. It is unknown which talents will be involved with the reported tapings. WWE has yet to confirm or announce the tapings. On January 30th, WWE filed to trademark Evolve. Evolve was a promotion run by Gabe Sapolsky, who now works for WWE from 2010 to 2020 when it was purchased by WWE. Of course, if we get any more updates on these tapings, we'll let you know in a future video. Of course, tonight is the Royal Rumble Premium Live event, and the 2025 Royal Rumble is not only shaping up to be one of the biggest in the show's history, but it's on course to break a number of records in the wider world of wrestling. And in the Wrestling Observer newsletter, Dave Meltzer examined just how big this year's event could possibly be. To put simply, Meltzer stated that the 2025 Royal Rumble will be the biggest non-WrestleMania show in North American history. From a viewership standpoint, there will be more eyes on the show than ever, thanks to the company's new deal with Netflix that allows international viewers to stream the show live, Peacock having the most subscribers around this time of year as usual, and the general popularity of WWE at the time of recording. The only other Royal Rumble event that could come close to the 2025 show is the inaugural 1988 event that was broadcast on basic cable via USA Network. As far as live attendance is concerned, records have already been broken, with potentially more to come. The 2025 Royal Rumble has the highest demand for tickets ever in WWE, with 63,095 out at recording time, a number that has since risen in the past few days. This means that it will be the highest attended Royal Rumble, beating 1997's 60,525, and the show will have the largest non-WrestleMania WWE crowd in North American history, surpassing the August 28, 1986 event in Toronto, Canada, that drew 64,100 fans. Meltzer believes the live gate will surpass the $12 million mark, another record for a non-WrestleMania show, leapfrogging 2023 AEW All-In London event in the process. The only record left to break is 72,238, which is Lucas Oil Stadium's all-time attendance record set back in 2015. Now, of course, the road to WrestleMania begins this evening, and a staple of it is the Hall of Fame ceremony, and an update has emerged regarding plans for the 2025 WWE Hall of Fame ceremony after a big announcement was made this week. The big news was that the headline inductee this year will be Triple H. He was surprised when Shawn Michaels and The Undertaker made the announcement to WWE employees at a town hall meeting. During their announcement, both Michaels and Undertaker noted that the Hall of Fame would take place WrestleMania weekend, as has become tradition. However, no exact details have been formally announced, despite ticket details being released for the pre-WrestleMania SmackDown. For the past few years, the Hall of Fame ceremony has taken place immediately after SmackDown in the same arena. According to PW Insider, a high-placed WWE source stated that things are still TBD regarding whether that will be the case this time around. The plans are still in flux, and a final decision has been made on exactly when and where the ceremony will take place. Now, will Jordynne Grace be in attendance this evening for the Royal Rumble? Former TNA Knockouts World Champion and reported new WWE signee Jordynne Grace is planned for her second Royal Rumble appearance, despite what the star is claiming on social media. Backing up a recent report from PW Insider, Fightful confirmed Friday that Grace is planned for the match. PW Insider also followed up with a new report in their Elite section, saying Grace was spotted Friday morning in the Indianapolis airport and is 1,000,000% in the city for the Royal Rumble. Now, on Wednesday, Grace took to X and said she would be 100% be hosting her mother's 50th birthday party this weekend. She even included her flight information from Atlanta, Georgia to Austin, Texas. It's not uncommon for wrestlers to announce they won't be in the Rumble match beforehand. However, with a recent example being WWE Hall of Famer Edge denying he would be in the 2020 match before showing up as one of the most celebrated returns in WWE history. Grace entered the Women's Rumble match last year as TNA Knockouts World Champion. She didn't score any eliminations, but was in the match for over 19 minutes. And finally, this is going to be a big year for the icon Sting. After retiring from in-ring competition last year, Sting promised fans that he would not fade into the background after hanging up his boots. A man of his word, the former AEW World Tag Team Champion is keeping that promise by announcing 13 upcoming appearances for fans to interact with him, share stories, get autographs, and take pictures at some of the most popular conventions scheduled for 2025. On Friday, the WWE Hall of Famer announced on his Instagram page that the 2025 Or Never Tour will kick off with its first appearance at WrestleCon today in Indianapolis, Indiana. This tour includes 12 additional convention appearances with a special event set for Saturday, February 15th in the United Kingdom at the For Love of Wrestling in Manchester, England. The tour will wrap up on Sunday, November 9th at the Rhode Island Comic-Con in Providence. The name 2025 or Never originated from a post Sting shared on X, which indicated this would be the final year he appears in his signature black and white war paint. Sting's in-ring career concluded with an emotional bang when he and his protege Darby Allin successfully defended their tag team championships against the Young Bucks at Revolution last March. Later that evening, the titles were vacated. Since 1985, the former six-time WCW World Champion has taken fans on journeys unlike any seen before in the industry. After fears arose that his career might be permanently over due to a neck injury in 2015, Sting bounced back and defied the odds, making AEW the final promotion he worked for before retiring. During his AEW tenure, the icon was never pinned or submitted, ending his run with a flawless 28-0 record. But there you go, guys. The latest pro wrestling news for you. Be sure to smash a like on the like button. Be sure to subscribe, bottom right-hand corner. As always, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, and I'll speak to you again very, very soon.
Hey guys, thank you for watching, listening, streaming, or however you come across this video today. Be sure to click on the video on the right there to watch our next video, or click the bottom there to subscribe, or the bottom right-hand corner. Thank you very much, and I'll speak to you again very soon.